Hi, I'm Hemosoo. We will introduce our application program AtaxiaV, Quantitative Assessment and Treatment System for Ataxia on the Cloud. Ataxia is a degenerative disease of the nervous system that is caused by damage to the cerebellum. Ataxia is similar to the Parkinson's disease. Some patients have trouble walking, speaking, swallowing, or moving their eyes. In some cases, ataxia can even lead to death. Although it is a serious condition, it is rare, so data and research on it are lacking. In order to evaluate ataxia of the upper limbs, neurological tests include the finger-to-finger test, the finger-to-nose test, and the peg test. The problem with these tests is that it is difficult to obtain a quantitative value, and as a result, leads to inconsistencies in evaluating the patient's condition and treatment effectiveness.
We developed AtaxiaV1 to ensure that all patients were tested and diagnosed in a standardized environment, implementing the use of computers during the process to obtain the quantitative data accurately. AtaxiaV1 collects quantitative data by testing and analyzing the abnormality in patients' upper limb motor control through online resources. In a 900 by 600 region on a 1080 by 1920 touchscreen monitor, a patient draws a straight line connecting the starting and ending squares with their fingers as the system simultaneously collects the data. An analysis is performed on the number of failed attempts times the patient's finger moves out of the designated experimental area, discontinuities, reverse movements, completion time, and total deviation area. Using OpenCV and a blue marker, AtaxiaV2 aims to eliminate the limitations of the patients on a computer screen by conducting the experiment in a 3D environment, which is similar to current diagnosis methods.
Ataxia V3 was developed to not only test and to bring quantitative data, but to perform rehab exercises as well. We developed Ataxia V3 to make 3D games using Unity and Leap Motion controllers so that patients can participate more actively in testing and rehab exercises. The touching rhythm game is where patients touch randomly appearing balls to make them disappear, and through this game you can test the stretching and pointing of the arms and shoulders. The throwing object game is a game in which you grab a box and throw it to hit a target, testing the grip strength of your hand and the control of the patient's arm to initiate the throw. The voice recognition maze game is where patients give a command with their voice to move a ball in one of four directions: up,
Right.
down, left, right, to collect coins located around the maze
Down.
so that speech-impaired patients can continue to speak and practice targeted pronunciations. We are currently developing an accumulating stage on the cloud, and we plan to try clinical trials on ataxia patients. The web app system of ataxia serves as a data-intensive application, as it can be easily accessed without an expert, with a reasonable operating cost and no prerequisites required to run the system. With the data collected, machine learning will diagnose ataxia patients more accurately and develop new treatment methods as soon as possible.